$1,000 Suede outfits, teen cliques, the African Anteater dance, and geek to chic. That's right. This week we are breaking down 1987 rom-com Can't Buy Me Love with Amanda Peterson and Patrick Dempsey. Currently streaming wherever you can find it, but it is available on YouTube.
Welcome to the RomCom Rescue podcast, a brand new podcast where we bring the love and life lessons from your favorite rom-coms. I'm Kira Sabin. I'm a healthy dating educator, a certified coach, and a positive psychology practitioner. But more importantly, I spend my days teaching the skills and mindsets of dating.
And I'm Dr. Isabel Morley. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and an EFT certified couples therapist. And I help couples have the happiest, healthiest relationship possible. Join us weekly as we break down the best love lessons from your favorite rom-coms so we can all get into the best relationships possible. Because we believe that we create our own happily ever afters.
Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new series that we are doing. One that is near and dear to my heart, particularly as a Gen Xer, but also very sad to my heart as a Gen Xer. But we are doing our Big Hair, Big Hopes 80s Rom-Com Rewind. And over the next 4 episodes, we are going to be talking about some of the best, some of the questionable, some of the just interesting things that were okay in the 80s and what we can learn from them.
Yes.
So
And it's going to be great because you are a fan of the 80s rom-coms, have seen them, have nostalgia for them. And for the most part, these are going to be first watches for me. So I think we're going to bring very interesting perspectives to each of these movies.
I think that we are. And crazily, I think that I might be harder on this today than you are.
I know.
Let's get into it. And I do want to say there is just going to be things that happen in 80s movies that are not okay, right?
Yes.
Like,
this is like our Bridgerton asterisk. It was a different time.
Yes,
things happened that we would not approve of now, and we're going to note them and carry that lesson forward, but we're also going to give a little leeway to what was acceptable.
Absolutely. And sadly, except for one of them, and you will know exactly when we get to it, which one it is. But except for one of them, I did try to choose more thoughtful, more like we can work with this. There's a couple that I'm not doing. I don't think that 16 Candles holds up at all. Some of these kind of more quintessential. And I will announce, as I've announced on here before, I will not be breaking down When Harry Met Sally, which is, I think, probably the best 80s rom-com because it's my favorite movie and I do not want to look at it critically. But maybe at one point we'll have a guest and then you can do it and then I'll just never listen to that episode. This is now hit a level of ridiculousness that I never thought that I would hit. But
listen,
right now,
in this day and age, we
need
need to protect certain things. You need this rom-com, and we are not going to do anything to take it away from you.
I want to live in a world where Billy Crystal is an amazing leading man. And I don't want that bubble to ever be burst because those are the little moments in life where I'm like, this is what's right with the world. But today we're going to talk about Vic Dreamy. Right?
Oh,
very
my God.
young Patrick Dempsey.
I died. As far as I knew, Patrick Dempsey came to life in Grey's Anatomy. I hadn't seen him in anything before this.
Birthed.
He just appeared. Full-grown man. I was shook when I saw a baby Patrick Dempsey as the geek in this movie. Absolutely shook.
It is. And it's really funny because I think that as, you know, as somebody's baby, an 80s kid, we all were kind of shocked. First, when he came out in, I'm getting there, give me 1 second, Sweet Home Alabama. Like, he showed up, right?
Oh, he was in that. Yeah.
He was, and he was
the
like
city boyfriend,
handsome,
husband.
A little salt and peppery. And I think every 80s lady I
Collective
know
gasp.
was like, what happened here? Where did
Geek
our
to
geek
chic
to
indeed.
chic, right? Exactly. And now it's like, so he was like, uh, what is it? Not hottest man of the year. What's the people?
Oh God.
Uh,
Sexiest man of the
yeah,
year?
sexiest man of the
Something like
year.
that?
Like,
Yeah.
I think that Ronald/Donald would
He
have.
manifested the shit out of
Oh
that.
my God, yes, because he is like basically created this in his later life, and I mean, good on you, Patrick Dempsey.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I loved this movie growing up. I've seen it so many times. I this was I was 14 years old when this movie came out, so it was kind of like very,
That moment.
oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, and I loved it. And there's always such a powerful feeling that comes with an underdog story.
Oh yeah.
But I did not see it the same way this time.
Yeah.
I didn't. So before we get into it, I think that we have some questions for each other.
Yes. You ask first. This is such a
I
good
will. It is. And I know it's going to be very different because my graduating class was 120 people, right? So I
Oh
know.
my
I know.
God.
So sure, there were cliques and things like that. But
Wow. How many could there really be when you've got that
right, when you've
few
got that
people?
few of people,
Yeah.
and lots of people did everything, right? People did
Yeah.
sports, and they did music, and they did, forensics or plays, and that was kind of one of the cooler things about growing up in a small town is you could try lots of stuff and kind of see what you liked. But I want to know what clique was young Izzy in, because I have
Ooh.
no idea whatsoever. I have no idea.
God. So I went to private schools, which were very, very small. And then for high school, I chose to go to public school in my town, which was,
Ooh,
I know,
controversial.
it was quite a big move. And I wasn't in a nerdy clique, but like I was a peer mediator and I did debate. And it was a lot of the like more peacekeeping, problem solving, intellectual club type stuff that I was involved in. So like it wasn't like super nerdy, but it was not cool. But I ended up dating somebody who was in the cool clique.
And what
He
happened
was
then? Were you the Ronald with this? Did you
no,
go from geek to chic?
I never joined that group. I really never did. And like he wasn't a sporty guy himself, but he was friends with the football players and the other
Got it.
popular
Got it.
people. But like I never was interested in making that leap. I never felt comfortable with those people, so I never did. Like I wasn't Ronald. Maybe I could have been, but I find popular people to be very intimidating and I just don't get them,
Oh my
to be
God.
honest.
This episode just took a turn, everybody, because I can't wait till we dig into this.
Yeah.
What?
What clique were you in?
Once again, I would not even say there was cliques, but I was a music person for sure. I originally went to college for vocal performance and and vocal education, so to become a music teacher. So that's kind of where I spent my extra time. I was in choir, I was in swing choir, I was in madrigals, I was in solo ensemble, I was in all the things. And then I was also in band. I was like first clarinet and all of that stuff. So that actually,
Oh, wow.
I think about how busy I was in high school.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of it is a lot of stuff. So I did do some sports like when I was in middle school. I will tell you, and this is a fixed mindset as I say it, that like I am
Me
not a
too.
strong athlete, man. I am not. Now,
Me too.
not just saying that I couldn't
too.
get better at it, but there was nothing. I actually loved basketball. I played basketball from a young age. I just was never very good. But I also will say I never really practiced. So,
Oh, I did practice and I
Did
still
you?
wasn't very team sports. I didn't really get the social dynamics of like where should you run when you're playing soccer? You know, like some people just intuitively get it. I never got it. I liked crew. I liked rowing. But you know, you're stuck in one place and you just have to be strong. There's like not as much having to negotiate other
I
people on a
love
field.
that High School Izzy seems to be a very much prequel to Grown Izzy.
Yeah.
I would not say that I was at all. And in fact,
No.
let me tell you a quick story that I think will entertain the fuck out of you. I was such a goody-goody Like, so once again, I wasn't popular, but I wasn't unpopular. I was kind of like somewhere in the middle, and just we were
Sweet
a
spot.
small enough school that like kind of everybody was kind of, everybody knew everybody, and everybody kind of usually had friends that intermingled. I was such a goody. I was such like a good Christian girl growing up that there was a time in high school that a group of high school girls stood around me and made me swear because they didn't believe that I could do it. And they were like, Kira,
my God.
say shit. And I was like, no, I'm not going to. You guys, seriously, this actually happened. They were like sitting there bullying me in some like very non-bullied way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
come on, Kira,
Come
can you even
on.
do it? Can you even say shit? Can you even say, I mean, I'm sure fuck didn't even come out. It was, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
that was such a,
wow.
so.
And here
Not
you are
the
out of the
prequel,
chrysalis.
I think it's so funny.
You got comfortable with
I
swearing.
know, I did. I have evolved into a different person that I think high school Kira thought, and I'm cool with it. I am good with it. But I thought you would find that pretty
That's
funny.
hilarious. I
That
would never
I
have
am the
guessed that.
swearbear that I am, and I
Wouldn't have
was
guessed
like
it.
literally bullied into swearing, and I wouldn't. I think I was like, I'm going. This is mean. I don't have to prove anything to you guys.
I was a goody two shoes too. I was like,
I know.
don't
So
do-
we probably would have been
Yeah.
friends in high school, actually.
Yeah,
So
probably.
because I was also the president. Gosh, my college friends thought this was a hoot. I did just say hoot. I was also president of SAD, Students Against Drunk Driving.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a really good group. That's a good cause.
I know. So, but I did it because I was definitely a straight edge, and we would plan dances, we would plan events and stuff like that, and I always loved planning things. So we did, like talent shows and different things like that, and I loved that portion.
So we weren't cool. We weren't hanging out with Cindy
But here's
and
the
Billy.
deal: I'm cool now. Like, and one of my best friends from high school. I was always like, we were way cool. She's like, I think you have a weird distortion of self-esteem or confidence from high school. She's like, that's not what I remember us at all. I'm like, I felt like we were cool. Like, I didn't feel like I had to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah.
But I was so sick of my small town and just wanted to get the heck out at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, by senior year, I was like, I'm done here, people. I am done.
Yeah.
So, and you have a question for me. What is this question?
Oh yeah. What was your summer job? Because him being on the lawnmower is such a key part of this film.
Right. Which, that was a very normal thing of people, high schoolers mowing back then.
Yeah.
I actually was a soda jerk. We had you don't even know?
Excuse me. That sounds so provocative. You're going to have to explain that to me.
I cannot believe you don't know what it is, but we had an old school, like 50s soda fountain, right? That did ice cream and shakes and floats and things like that. And that was my summer job. I scooped ice cream. I made Cokes from like the syrup.
Did you say soda jerk though?
Yeah, that's what they were called. Soda jerks.
Wow.
Please, people back me up. Send me a message on Instagram and say, Kira, we do know what a soda jerk is. Yeah, and it was like a good gig, man. It was a good gig for a high schooler, right?
Yeah. Well, scooping ice cream is a good gig. It's like you're with your friends and hanging out and get free ice cream.
Well, it wasn't that cool because I worked in an old pharmacy soda fountain. But it was cool. And I mean, like, we would make like a lime phosphate. Like you would take the syrup and then mix in the soda water. I mean, like, wow, this just feels
Keep
so
in mind,
old.
I was -1 when this movie came out. I missed the 80s. Yeah.
-1. Rough. What was your summer job?
Oh, I had a few. Like, I did a lot of restaurant stuff. I did a lot of hosting and serving, and some nights I had to make cocktails even though I was not legally allowed to, but the bartender wasn't there. So shout out Bertucci's for letting us underage servers. Some woman was like, can I have a Cosmo? And I was like, sure. I don't know what I served her. It was not a Cosmo. They used to have like a little book you'd flip through with like telling you how to make the drinks. I was like, I don't know.
Oh my
16.
God. That is hilarious. Well, let's get into this highly deep, thought-provoking movie. I remember reaching out and I said to Izzy, and I'm like, I haven't watched it yet. She's like, it's okay. It's pretty straightforward. I'm like, there is not a ton of nuance here at all. But
No.
what stood out for you? It's almost, I've seen it so many times. It was almost hard to even watch critically because it's
Yeah.
like, I knew it. I like literally knew every scene that was coming up next. There's a couple small things I forgot and we can talk about those. But what did you think as the first time watching this?
I really enjoyed it. There was something actually comforting about how simple it was. Like the cool kids and the geeks, like just like the comfort of high school. I just found it like entertaining and light, and I found a lot of good lessons. On the second watch, I will admit I had a hard time with Ronald. I was like, oh, you're kind of a bad guy, actually. And like you feel bad for him the first because you're like, oh, he's really trying and he wants to make friends and he wants to experience what it's like to be cool. But then when you see his tactics and how he treats people, like right away how he treats people, he's kind of a bad dude.
I mean, but you love a bad boy. So did that actually make you
It
go?
kind of worked. Yeah.
Of course it did.
Patrick Dempsey, he's so cute. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Better than the jocks don't do it for me. Ever, ever, ever.
I mean, they really made them jockey too, right?
Yeah,
Like
it just
for
two brain
sure.
cells. Yeah.
I remember watching this and being, I love a good underdog story. I always have. And so I just really related to Ronald. I think you're supposed to, right? You're supposed to kind of relate to this guy who is either trying to be more popular or get more attention. I think that like a lot of high schoolers feel that way. They want to be seen and respected and appreciated, whatever.
And have fun, right?
have
Like senior
fun.
year, I want to have the best senior year ever and like live all of the
Right.
experiences. I get that.
Right. And, in this rewatch, I was like, Ronald, you're a dick.
He is a dick.
He's a dick, unfortunately.
To everybody.
To
literally everybody.
To like, he
Family,
literally.
friends.
Yeah. And I wanted them to get together because, of course, that was so like untraditional at the time. Like, oh, a popular person with a nerd. Like, what a cool ending. And I mean, he 100% used Cindy for popularity, for attention. And like, he's got some major insecurities. And not only was he a shitty kind of boyfriend or fake boyfriend, he was a shitty friend. I think the hardest thing was watching him totally be a dick to his friends of lots of years and not even making it really right in any way.
No. So he, I think we can like safely say he has ADHD. He is all over the place, don't you think? He's like bouncing off the walls, really missing information, very impulsive. I found him like sort of hard to track at times. He's just sort of like,
it's so funny. I thought it was totally normal, but that's because I have ADHD. So that's so funny.
You were like, oh, this makes sense.
I know. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I can see that. Yeah, totally. No, you're absolutely right. Like, but I just, first of all, remembered more of a romance than I really felt like there was, because it's kind of like.
He quickly hooks up with her best friends and other people in the social group and like seems very comfortable doing that and no remorse around that either. And yeah, their romance really gets lost because you see her develop real feelings for him and a real connection, but we don't ever see him develop a real connection with her. He idealized her and he would watch her and want to be with her, but when he actually got to know her, it didn't seem like he actually liked her more. It seemed like he just wanted to leapfrog into her social group, and that was enough.
It didn't hold up. Like, I didn't feel at the end like he deserved to be with her because he really behaved badly again and again and again and then didn't really fix it, besides the very slow cap speech at the end where he's kind of sticking up for his friend, which that's the least he could do after all of that shit. Yeah. But I mean, I just remember it being kind of more empowering than I feel like it was now. Because now I'm just like, Ronald, you were a total jerk to her. And
didn't really apologize.
Everybody else, too. Yes. He was stepping on and shitting on every single person that he dated, that he, like, whether they were his older friends or his new friends. He was just taking whatever he could get. And
He might be a narcissist. The desire for attention, the grandiosity, the lack of empathy for how he's impacting people. Like, we could make a pretty good case. And, like, he stole her poem and used it to hook up with another girl and didn't. I was like, that's it for me. That's a hard no for me.
Kira was like, that is the most terrible thing you could ever do is steal a high school girl's, like, love poem, right? Like, it's the worst thing you could ever do, Ronald. Here's the question. If he wouldn't have gotten called out, right? If
he would have kept going.
I think he would have kept going.
Yes.
Right?
Totally agree.
I think, and that says a lot to me that I don't think he kind of ever regretted his behavior that much. They did for the rom-com magic. But, you know, he was shitty to everybody, kind of getting whatever he could get. And at the end, we kind of see I just really liked you and wanted to be with you. And I'm like, did you?
Did you?
Did you?
Didn't see evidence because you could have had her and you blew right past her.
Right.
Many times. Because you were so excited about having a reputation and being popular and other girls being interested in you. I'm convincing myself he's a narcissist now, actually. The more that we talk about this, I'm really, ironically, since my whole book is about not doing this, but I'm seeing some patterns here.
You're a therapist, so it's cool if you actually pick somebody out and say that they have narcissistic.
That seems.
Yeah, and I think that there's also, which is the nuance there of, like, narcissistic behaviors versus somebody who is diagnosed and living in that space. And what I do think we see, which I'm not going to then, like, take it into narcissism, but we do see Ronald, like you said, lack of empathy, lack of connection with anybody. It was like, absolutely, what can I get? Him. How can I be seen by this and that way? And I don't think that he would have felt any remorse if he would have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
I think he would have just kept dating people through high school and then maybe tried to do the same thing in college.
Yeah, I agree. He was so concerned about his reputation and being popular. I mean, the grandiosity piece is really there. Although I had a professor in grad school say the reason why we don't diagnose teenagers with personality disorders is that every teenager would have one. So we'd have to see if he continued on this path, you know. But I did have some good lessons. I mean, I feel like I did. I really, my first watch was really positive, okay?
I love that for you. I love that for you.
I have a Ronald one, which is sort of a twist on what actually happened. He wanted to be popular so badly, he, like, transformed himself and gave up his actual interest and personality. And then he loses the interest of the person that he cared about, or, you know, allegedly cared about so much at the beginning, which is just a message of be who you are, be yourself. Don't try to be the version you think somebody else wants. Don't try to present yourself in a fake manner to meet some standard. Like, be who you are and you'll attract the right people who want to be with you. I feel like that message comes across very clear in this movie.
I think that that's probably what they were trying to teach us, right? That's what they were trying to say is, you know, that the best thing to do is really connect, be yourself, you know, have real and honest conversations. Though our geek to chic did not do that very well.
No.
Yeah. Any other healthy love
Thanks,
lessons?
Kara. I have one for Cindy, although, again, it gets kind of messed up because of how Ron acts. But I would say the message of giving people a chance, you know, like, don't judge somebody off the bat too quickly because of their interests or whatever category you've placed them in. But, like, actually get to know somebody for who they are. You may find that you actually do like them, that you are attracted to them. And I think when we put people into, or they're a jock, or they're a geek, or there's this type of person, and I'm just not, that's not my type. They're too short, right? They're the wrong hair color. I don't go for that type of person. You rule out so many people who might be a good fit for you. So having an open mind.
I feel like through the time together over the last year, you talk more about dating and I talk more about relationships.
Well,
but I mean, like, but it's all the same, and then it's, you know what I mean? It's very connected. And so, first of all, if you have a type, your type is usually about familiarity, right? Your type is more about what you learned about love and relationships, usually from your family, than it is about anything else. And make sure that I used to have a podcast episode and blog post that was called "Does Your Type Suck?" Because sometimes that person
It does.
that you are attracted to, maybe they look different, maybe they have different jobs, whatever, but they're playing the same role and you're playing the same role. And
Cindy's
if it doesn't
type.
feel good, right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't feel good, you should really be looking at, is who I'm attracting or who am I attracted to healthy? Is it working for me? Is it going to actually get me to a healthy relationship? So that is, I mean, I don't believe in a type, actually. I don't believe anybody is out of anybody's league. I think that we have that gross idea that because somebody is more attractive or has more money or more like is more successful by whatever terms, that they're out of their leagues. Like, I have not bought into that for a very long time. I think it's about connections. I think it's about sharing values and seeing the world the same way. Just that. I don't think people are out of our type or out of our league. But when we believe they are, who we are and how we exist and how we date and who we, you know, and what we do or what we allow, that's where we get
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. That's where we really screw ourselves. I remember. So first of all, I think Amanda Peterson, who went on, unfortunately, to have a very tough life. I think she was quintessential 80s amazing in this. Like, I could
loved her.
Every outfit, I was like, oh my gosh, I remember a shirt like that, or I remember, you know what I mean? So she was great. And then honestly, I think I remembered her being, because she was the popular girl. She didn't even know his name, that kind of thing. I just liked her so much more in these rewatches. She was like having
she was kind.
She was kind. She was considerate to him. Like, you know, like she
called her friends out.
Right, right. She gave him kind of more chances than maybe he deserved even. And she really tried to connect with him on a different level. And he really saw her as an object.
Yes. And an
more
opportunity.
than anything. And an opportunity more than anything. So, and having her mom's boyfriend show up and make those comments. And I know she was 15 when she filmed this. And I'm just like, this is the gross shit that I hate seeing, because it was normalized that some like 40-something-year-old man gets to like sit there and like ooh and ah over a 15-year-old girl, right? And I think she's supposed to be 16 or 17. Doesn't matter. Gross.
I can't imagine somebody coming in and saying that about my daughters when they're 15 and being like, oh, stop. That's such a compliment to me that you're saying I'm the older sister and that we're both attractive. What?
And you see, we get that little glimpse of this is kind of, we don't see any kind of male role model. We don't really see, she's just surviving. I think it was very classic Gen X that her mom was in her own little world and disconnected. I do need to say something Gen X related, just because I've been having a lot of these conversations recently on my own podcast, of the whole premises of this movie is she would rather fake date somebody for a month than just tell her mom that she ruined her outfit. Were you so scared of upsetting or disappointing her parents? Like, isn't that funny? Like, all of these, you know, crazy things happened because she just wasn't willing to say, I did something you asked me not to do. I'm sorry, you know, and possibly get grounded. Like, it's amazing. All of this came to be.
I would have done the same thing, to be totally honest. Right. My mom wasn't like mean about that kind of thing, but I just never wanted to do the wrong thing. So I would have done whatever I could.
My parents still don't know. So I do think that's interesting though. And I think it is a little bit not as common now, right?
Yes.
Like that a kid would just say, this happened, I'm sorry, you know, or whatever in a TV and movie. And it's hilarious to me that this whole concept was basically just because she wore her mom's outfit that she was told not to wear and got wine on it.
Well, white suede is a bold choice.
It is. Everybody I know, and by the way, I will say I shared this recently. I've been doing something on my Instagram called Manic Mondays, where I just share clips of movies from the 80s and commercials and just all of these different things. People are loving it. And I shared this. This was one of the first things I shared. And number one, like a bunch of people are like, this, I was an extra in this because this was actually an independent movie that was filmed in Tucson over the summer. And so I had like multiple people say like, I was an extra in this. Like I was
That's
in
crazy.
this movie. It was really fun. Cause yeah, I guess it was non-union. And so they literally went to a high school and got, and just had a
That's
bunch of,
hilarious.
I know. So tons of people, if you guys want to go look, there was like, I'd say at least 2 or 3, if not more, were like, I was in this movie. And I was like, that's so cool. And that's fun because I don't feel like that maybe happens as much now. But let's get into, does that meet cute work? Which, I mean, they've known each other probably on some level since like their whole childhood.
Kindergarten, yeah.
Right, exactly. But she just doesn't really give him the time of day. But then on the other hand, Ronald hasn't really given her a reason to either, you know?
Yeah.
And just staring at her
He's
through the
stalking
fence.
her.
He is. I'm trying
it's
not to call it that,
weird.
but it is.
He's,
In no way did I ever feel like this was him loving her or liking
No.
her. It felt very objectifying.
Yes, he was idealizing her. I mean, I understand like looking over when you're mowing her lawn and seeing her and like being attracted to her, but like he sought her out to watch her and objectify her. That felt very weird to me. It really
It did. It
So they're
did. That part
cute.
did not hold up in any way for me. Yeah.
No, no. It's just awkward and the power dynamics were weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Skippable.
And would you say that this approach would work in real life? I just saw we had that in there, I think, because we kind of have a template. And I was like, and you answered it. And I was like,
Listen, I am being so earnest about my note taking. Here's what I wrote, everyone. Buying someone to fake date you isn't recommended. Right, Kira? And then I said, but it was a fair exchange. He was upfront about it. She needed a new outfit. He wanted to be cool. They negotiated the terms. Like, at least it was above board.
it's true. Both of them knew. And you're right. Like, I was like, this is an interesting take. I don't know if that's what I was expecting from you. But if we are talking about transactions, this was a upfront transaction of
Yes.
what it is and what was expected. And, you know, there's worse things out there. We watch them all the time.
Wait, let me say something. The next section is best and worst lines. And below I see that we wrote nothing. Neither of us had any lines we wanted to add.
Well, the big line from this was "you shit on my house," which was his friend. You know,
Yeah.
when that scene is so terrible when he like
Oh, God.
ends up like I was so sad / angry because I had forgotten it a little bit, I guess, and that just like how tough that would have been for his friend.
Oh,
You know, to like be having people throw dog shit at your house.
yeah.
And then find out that your best friend went along with it, right? Like that's just so, but that was, I guess that was very controversial that they left that in.
Oh.
And because first of all, early trivia, this was a lot raunchier. And they actually kind of, when it was bought by Touchstone, which I think had to do with Disney, then they cleaned it up and made it like a PG-13 teen rom-com.
Oh.
But I guess that it was much kind of like more crass, which that was a big thing in the 80s, like the
Yeah.
Porkies and the...
You must have been shocked by the swearing. You must have been stunned, little Kira.
Oh my goodness. Little Kira, poor little Kira and her virgin
Earmuffs.
ears. I know.
Wait,
I
can I
know.
ask you something in terms of the
Yes.
raunchiness?
Yes.
Does Ronald have sex with, what's her name, Iris? What's her name?
Iris. It is
Yeah.
Iris. And
Do they have, is that what happens in the
Yeah,
bathroom?
and I'm
in
not
the
loving
bathroom?
I'm not loving the slut shaming that they are.
Oh,
that
terrible.
they are
The girls
doing
are
for her.
the
Like,
gir-
oh, is that Iris's new?
The girls were not good friends to each other.
No,
They were really
no.
not supportive, good friends across
I
the board. Except
literally-
Cindy was better, but only so much. She was mean to Iris too. So
Let me ask you this really quickly. Do you feel, being 15 years younger than me, that what you learned about women is that they were your friends or your competition?
I learned friends.
I learned
learned, like,
competition.
See, that is so terrible. That must
And
have
I
been
know
so
I
terrible.
literally just did a podcast talking about it because of what was kind of left over from our mothers and our grandmothers, and just even World War II when there was such a shortage of men. There was this whole big movement of you needed to lock a guy down. You needed to, because honestly, our mothers couldn't really exist, or grandmothers couldn't really exist if they weren't in marriages, right? You
Hmm.
couldn't really make enough money to live, that kind of thing. And so I feel like that was still very much passed down. And not that I didn't have friends, but there was always like,
That
you
little
would screw
piece.
your friend over for a guy. Like,
Yeah. Well,
we
you
don't want
see
to
that
say
in this
that.
movie. They're like competing for
Exactly.
Ronald and walking all
And I
over each
and it
other. I was like,
didn't
what?
feel dirty when I watched this. It felt normal. And now I'm like, wow, that is just
Yeah.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
No.
So will they make it?
Listen, I mean, I think the safest thing to say is they're too young for us to
That's
really
kind. That is
know.
very kind.
I don't think so. Ronald has got a lot of work to do. He is just not ready to be an equal, stable, consistent partner in a relationship. His self esteem is all over the place. He's mean. And Cindy, I think, has some work to do too. She needs to stand up for herself in healthier ways.
Yeah.
She's picking the wrong guys because she's dating terrible guys before Ronald who are ignoring her,
Yes.
who are mistreating
Bobby.
her. And then she ends up with Ronald who has ignored her and mistreated her. So I feel
Right.
like she hasn't broken that pattern yet.
As I'm sure she now has seen her mother
Yep,
be in relationships where she is
that's the
mistreated
case.
and she is, you know what I mean? So it's like that's where we see
Yep.
this role modeling and it becomes what we allow and we tolerate. Boy, I'm a lot of fun. Uh, but to me, like, and you brought this up, but really, like, she forgave him very quickly. Probably she shouldn't have.
Yeah,
He was terrible to her. He
repeatedly.
objectified her. He dated all her friends. All of this stuff. He basically didn't even keep their friendship afterwards, right? Like she was kind of
Right.
like, well, we're friends now. And he just kind of went on and was like, well, I'm now part of this clique. And she was kind of doing her own thing.
Yeah.
But I don't trust Ronald and I don't trust like the growth or the evolution there. I don't think like all of a sudden he was changed. I think he got caught. And
Yeah.
then I think that
Tail between
he
his
had a
legs.
little bit of come to Jesus that if I'm going to be ever accepted again or whatever, I better like apologize or something. But it wasn't enough for me.
I feel
It
like he
wasn't
knew that
enough.
Cindy was his only in back to
Yeah.
having any kind of standing or even a friend.
Right.
Like nobody else would take him. So
And they shouldn't have. They
Yeah.
shouldn't have.
yeah.
I've got some trivia for us.
Ooh, let's do it.
So Amanda Peterson was 15 years old during the filming, and Patrick Dempsey was 20 years old. So just kind of a big like age difference there a
Whoa.
little bit. Patrick Dempsey is a car collector and race car driver. That's kind of very common knowledge. And he used all of his pay from this film to buy his first car, which was a
Wow.
1963 Porsche. It was originally titled Boy Rents Girl. Yeah, not so good.
Hate that.
And Gerardo, who was, I think Ricky is his name in this, but he is a musician. In a couple years, he would come out and be a major musician singing Rico Suave. And I forgot he was in this.
Oh
But that
my
was like a major
God.
hit. And I think like 90, 91. And he started in this. So I thought that was a thing. And then I was unaware of this, but in 2003, Love Don't Cost a Thing, which I've never seen with Nick Cannon and Christina Milian, was based on this. And I had no idea.
Oh,
So
really?
maybe somewhere down the road, although
Watch
people are like,
that.
not well. But yeah, I had no idea
Wow.
that they had kind of done a remake. And then finally, that African Anteater Ritual was choreographed by Paula Abdul. Like
What?
kind of before because Paula Abdul calls out in the next couple of years. But
Oh,
they
my
asked her to do
God.
it. And she actually said, I really went out of my way to make it really thoughtful towards the culture and what they would do. And then she came to Tucson to coach a gymnasium full of teenagers on this dance.
This dance made it into my dream the night after I watched this, to be
I
honest.
texted you. I said, have you gotten to the dance? Because I remember, everybody remembers that scene. how, funny and kind of ridiculous it is that he like watches this, dance and then everybody does it. Kind of.
It. I died laughing. I really did.
So what are our tacos?
What are your tacos?
Overall, I gave this a 4 because I love it, right? Like, it's just still nostalgia to me. Even in the worst, the love lessons, I gave it 2 because I did not think, I didn't think there was a ton of love here, right? Like, I just didn't. I think that there was a lot of, I didn't. You?
Yeah. I gave it a 4 too. I'm surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.
I was like, she is not going to like any of these movies.
No, I'm in a generous mood, to be honest. Love lessons, I did 3/4. I would do a 3. I would downgrade it to a 3 because I really focused on what I thought were good lessons in terms of.
So
I don't
positive.
know.
So positive.
I know. I'm feeling very, like I said, generous. But
yes, that was great. Well, guys, that is a wrap on this episode of RomCom Rescue and part of our 80s series. We've laughed, we've analyzed, and we've uncovered the real-life love lessons behind the romance.
Now it's your turn. Tell us what you think. Was this rom-com relationship goals or a total disaster? Vote in our Instagram polls and DM us your hot takes.
Next week, we'll be breaking down Say Anything, the 1989 rom-com with John Cusack and Ione Skye.
Make sure to follow, subscribe, and leave a review if you love what we do. It helps us bring more rom-com magic and real talk your way.
Because at the end of the day,
we believe that we create our own happily ever afters. And remember, don't wear white suede to a high school party.
I just couldn't believe that guy was like, it's not like I ruined it or anything. I would, if I were her, I would have been like, you ruined this. Go find me the money.
Yeah, no, but they got away with everything.
80s.
The 80s.
And scene. All right. Well,